Hello, welcome you to TATS speaking test and VJ. Could you tell me your elevator pitch, please?
Yes.
Here we go.
My name is Tú.
Yes.
I'm 13 years old. I'm studying at junior school.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Do you live in a residential areas or do you live in commercial areas?
I live in resident area.
Residential area. Okay. The first part, I'm going to ask you many questions related to the story, The Day of the Dead, and the second one is a kiss, right? And you need to answer quickly, and you need to use your, like correct grammar in the past simple tense or the present simple tense correctly. Okay. Could you tell me like who bought the new car?
I lost bought a new car.
Was it a really cheap car?
It was a very expensive car.
Okay. And could you tell me how did the girl look like?
The girl was beautiful. She had long blonde hair.
Yes. Okay. And what did Carlot see while driving down the street?
I lost saw a girl while driving down the street.
Okay. And the next thing, could you tell me who would ignore Carlot?
The girl ignored Carlos.
How many times did Carlot yell to the girl?
Many times.
So many times. Okay. And could you tell me a little bit the elevator pitch of the story, A Kids? Yes. Okay. Here we go.
There are two characters in the story. Carlos and a girl.
Yes.
Carlos bought a new car. It's a very expensive car. It's very blue and fast car. While driving down the street, Carlos saw a girl on a bicycle.
Yes.
She had long blonde hair and was beautiful.
Good.
Carlos yelled to the girl, "Hey!" But the girl ignored him and kept going. Carlos yelled, "Why won't the girl talk to him?" He wanted to take the girl to an expensive restaurant.
Good.
The girl turned, gets off the bike and looked at him. The girl said she didn't want to go to dinner, but if Carlot gave her the keys, she will give Carlot a surprise.
She would.
She would. Carlot said okay and gave her the keys. After that, the girl took the keys and kissed Carlot on the cheek. And after that, she drove away. Carlot stood on the sidewalk.
Yes.
And said, "Just a kiss on the cheek, that's it."
Yes. Okay. And I'm going to ask you many questions related to the lessons The Day of the Dead. Have you ever arrived in Guatemala before?
No, I have never arrived in Guatemala before.
Okay. And in this mini story, who has arrived in Guatemala on The Day of the Dead?
A.C. Hawk arrived in Guatemala
Oh, why did he arrive in Guatemala?
because he curious about this holiday.
Oh my God! Could you tell me how differences between the atmosphere in the Guatemala? I mean, the cemetery in Guatemala and the atmosphere in the cemeteries in the United States.
The atmosphere in Guatemala quite interesting, but in the United States, it's always somber.
Okay. When you are answering the questions, you need to answer, and then to reverb, right? The atmosphere is, right? Okay. I can try again one more time, please. Like how different between the atmosphere in the cemetery in Guatemala and in the United States.
The cemetery in the Guatemala is always interesting,
Okay.
but in the United States, it's always somber.
Yes, I mean that the Day of the Dead has been a significant part of Guatemalan's life. But could you tell me what are the Guatemalans doing on the Day of the Dead and what are the Americans doing on the Day of the Dead? Yeah.
the watermelon often clean the grave and eat next to the grave.
Anything else?
Americans, they sad.
They're really sad. They're really sad. They are not celebrating the Day of the Dead in the cemeteries. Is it right? The Americans are not celebrating the Day of the Dead in the cemeteries.
Yes,
Yeah, okay. They are not flying kites.
yes.
Yeah, okay. Try again one more time. What are the Americans do on the Day of the Dead?
Americans,
Yes, the Americans.
no,
What are they doing?
celebrate the Day of the Dead in the cemeteries.
Yes, okay. And instead of celebrating the Day of the Dead, like watermelons are doing, the Americans do not celebrate. Is it right? The Americans do not, celebrate the Day of the Dead.
Yes,
Okay. And could you tell me, watermelons celebrate the Day of the Dead for those who have passed away, or for those who has become rich?
watermelon, they celebrate those who have passed away.
Yeah, okay. And what does A.J. Hawk admire?
A.J. Hawk admire the colorful,
Right?
admires
Yes.
the beauty of colorful
Yeah.
flowers.
Okay, very good. And the next question would be, what did A.J. Hawk prefer?
A.J. Hawk prefer the watermelon approach.
Okay, that's it, right? And the last but not least questions is really kind of interesting questions, like what kind of festivals in Vietnam that you know? How many Vietnamese festivals that you know?
Hùng Vương,
Hùng King Temple Festival.
Hùng King Temple
Festival. Yes. And Lunar New Year.
yes.
Yeah. Mid-Autumn
Mid-Autumn
Festival.
Festival.
Yes. South Day. Like the Wandering South Day. Perfume Pagoda Festival.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Could you tell me a little bit the elevator pitch about the mini story, The Day of the Dead? Okay. Here we go.
A.J. Hawk arrived in Watermelon on the Day of the Dead, November 1st. He was curious about this holiday, so he went to the cemetery to see what's happening.
Yes.
What he found is quite interesting. There were people
There were people everywhere.
everywhere.
Yes.
Some families were sitting around the grave and they cleaned the grave. He walked through the cemeteries and admired the beauty of all colorful flowers. There is also color in the sky
Yeah,
because
there was also color in the sky. There was.
also color in the sky
Yes.
because many kids were flying kites.
Yeah.
Some families were having a picnic. They ate, drank, and chat together. People laughed and smiled.
People laughed. People smiled. Or you can say people were laughing and people were smiling. Okay.
People laughed and smiled. In the United States, the cemeteries always somber. Americans certainly never have any parties or festival next to the grave.
Yes.
They didn't. Flying kite, play music,
They
or
didn't fly kite. They
Fly
didn't
kite.
fly kites. Okay.
or play music, or laugh in the cemetery either. He liked the way watermelon celebrate and remember
For those who have passed away.
for those who have passed away.
Yes.
Instead of denying it way the Americans do.
Yeah. Anything else?
The day of the dead is also a day to reason.
Yeah, it's a phrase like you can say that I have been curious about the way that you have been learning English. Like how many times that you read or use practice English at home every week? Or you just go to my school and then you just practice in my school and then you get home and you don't practice it? How many times have you practiced English at home? I have been curious about how many times that you read English at home. You learn English at home. How many times?
A little time.
A little times, okay, because you need to go to school.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to go to school. But okay, it would be a beneficial, advice for you. Like you need to take time and spend more time at home for reading, for speaking English, because sometimes your grammatical ranges are not correct. Sometimes that you are speaking in, present simple tense, but the actual chat contestant try to force you to speak in the past present tense, for example, and then you need to control the way that you try to speak loud, because you are really not confident. Little not confident, is it right?
Yes.
Okay, you try to be more confident, because sometimes a little confidence is really good approach for you to speak in English instead of being, shy, instead of being not confident in any kind of situation. Sometimes that you are not correct in grammar, that's okay, but your confidence is really good. That your score is really better then.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And thank you for your attention to our audience. Say goodbye to our audience, please.
Goodbye.
Thank you.